In our health lead, the Sesame Street word of the day is trauma dump. Okay, that's 2 words, but Elmo learned all about trauma dumps on Monday after he asked a seemingly simple question on X, formerly known as Twitter. Elmo is just checking in. How is everybody doing? Turns out everybody is not okay. And by everybody, I mean seemingly everybody. Elmo was flooded with responses. One reply reads, "Elmo, I'm depressed and broke." Another says, "Every morning I cannot wait to go back to sleep. Every Monday I cannot wait for Friday to come every single day and every single week for life." Elmo heard from companies including Oreo Cookies, which wrote, "Ran out of milk. Do the math." Elmo heard from the Detroit Free Press right after the Lions on Sunday blew that huge game, writing, quote, "We've been better, Elmo. Look, times are tough out there. Every single person is fighting their own battles, big and small." As for Elmo himself, the Muppet followed up with this post, "Wow, Elmo is glad he asked. Elmo learned that it is important to ask a friend how they are doing. Elmo will check in again soon, friends. Elmo loves you." And the one and only Elmo joins us now, along with his friend Samantha Malton, Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing and Brand Officer of Sesame Workshop. Elmo and Samantha, thank you both for venturing outside of Sesame Street to talk to us today. Elmo, it was very thoughtful of you to ask all of us how we're doing. So after all you've been through this week, let me begin by asking you both, how are you doing, Elmo?
Oh, well, thank you for asking that. That's a very important thing to ask people, and monsters too. Well, Elmo's doing really well. You know, Elmo's glad that he was able to talk to a lot of his friends about how they're feeling.
It has certainly been a whirlwind. Over 180 million people have seen Elmo's question, "How are you?" And we've been spending time developing resources and videos and activities that parents can do together with their children to help them understand how to talk about their emotions. Everything from belly breathing, Elmo, which you can teach our friends at home how to do, to sometimes more traumatic issues that they're dealing with.
Elmo, were you surprised by all of the responses? And why do you think this simple question, coming from you, Elmo, resonated with so many human beings and adults?
You know, Elmo's not really sure. Elmo was surprised because Elmo didn't realize that when you ask someone how they're doing, you have to be ready because maybe someone's not doing well or maybe somebody is. But it's an important question to ask, and Elmo's learned a lot about that.
I think this just speaks to the special relationship that Elmo has with our friends, with our audience, and that really Sesame Street has, that so many have grown up with Sesame Street or are watching it today with their children.
I'm one of those kids that grew up watching Sesame Street. I was born in 1969. I think that's when you guys were founded. And although Elmo, you hadn't yet moved to Sesame Street when I was watching.
Born yet. But Elmo knows that that's when Sesame Street started to be around.
Yeah. Well, Elmo, when you're feeling down, what helps you feel a little brighter?
You know, one of the things that you were just talking about was belly breathing, which is a really important strategy. That's a big word that Elmo just learned. A strategy, and it's belly breathing. So what you do is you put your hands on your belly, and you breathe in through your nose like this, and then you breathe out through your mouth slowly like this. And that really helps to make you feel calm and sort of get centered and relaxed.
I feel better. Do you?
Yeah. Well, it's. I feel better just talking to Elmo. Elmo,
Yeah.
I understand you have a birthday coming up this Saturday. Happy birthday! How are you going to celebrate? Maybe a cookie cake with Cookie Monster, if he would let you have any.
Oh, of course he would. You know, Cookie Monster does love cookies, but he's very good at sharing. Yes. Yeah, he's invited. Everybody's invited. You can come too if you want to. It's on Saturday.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Right?
We've got a big birthday celebration planned for Elmo. We're very excited about it. And we're going to be releasing some new resources for people who really need them next week as well. So Elmo's going to help us do that.
That sounds wonderful. Elmo and Samantha Malton, thank you so much. And please give my best to Ernie and Bert and Kermit and Grover and Cookie Monster and Big Bird and Snuffleupagus and the Count and Guy Smiley and,
Yeah.
you know, the whole gang.
Will do. Everybody says hello, especially Guy Smiley, and he would like a job at CNN.
Okay.
And Jake,
that would-
if we could just remind everyone to check out those important resources at sesame.org. You can learn about our emotional well-being, and you can learn about all the great work that Sesame is doing for communities and how you can help support that.
And you can see Guy Smiley's resume on the website, too.
Sounds good, Elmo. Samantha, thanks to both of you.
Bye. Have a good day.